We need to talk about this right now. Don't walk away from me.
Only smiled like that when she wanted something, or when she'd already decided I was going to say yes, even if I didn't know what I was saying yes to. "Hey," she said casually, leaning over the cubicle wall. "What are you doing tonight?" I didn't even look up, probably sleeping. Why? "Great," she said, "you're free." I frowned. For what? She tapped the desk with her nails. "Dinner." I blinked at her. "Dinner like food?" "No, dinner like skydiving," she deadpanned. "Yes, food at my place." I raised an eyebrow. "Why would you cook for me?" She shrugged, too casually. "You look like you don't eat properly, and my mom gave me leftovers. Come over." I should have questioned it more. Should have noticed the way she avoided eye contact, or how her voice pitched slightly higher than usual. But I'd spent the entire day fixing her section of the project after she accidentally deleted half the files, so maybe the idea of a free, home-cooked meal sounded appealing. "Fine," I said, "but if it's some weird vegetable experiment again, I'm ordering takeout." She smirked. "Relax, it'll be good." When she walked away, she practically floated, and I, being an idiot, thought she was just happy I said yes. Hours later, I stood in front of her apartment, holding a pack of juice boxes because she claimed she didn't like any drinks except those. I knocked once. The door opened instantly. Mia stood there breathless, hair curled, makeup lightly done, a soft pink top that definitely wasn't casual coworker dinner attire. "I'm not even late," I said. "I know," she said quickly. "Come in." Her apartment smelled like real food, actual food someone spent hours cooking. I kicked my shoes off and stepped inside. And that's when I heard voices. Multiple voices. Older voices. I froze. "Mia, are there people in your house?" She said, not meeting my eyes. "Yeah." "Who?" She smiled nervously. "My parents." I turned to the door. "I'm leaving." She grabbed my sleeve instantly. "No, no, no, wait." "Mia," I shouted, "why would you invite me when your parents are here?" Her cheeks turned pink. "It's complicated." "I don't do complicated," I hissed. "I do simple, I do normal. I do dinner without parental audiences." She tugged harder. "Please, just one dinner." "What for?" She inhaled deeply, closed her eyes, and whispered, "Because I told them you're my boyfriend." Everything inside my brain shut down like a crashed computer. "You what?" She winced. "Please don't yell." "I'm not yelling," I said, "absolutely yelling. You told your parents I'm your boyfriend. Since when?" "Since 2 weeks ago," she mumbled. "Two MIA, what is wrong with you?" She covered my mouth with her hand. "SHHH, they'll hear you." I removed her hand. "Why would you do that?" "Because," she snapped quietly, eyes blazing with embarrassment and desperation, "they think I'm incapable of being in a relationship, and they kept trying to set me up with their friends' sons who look like they came straight out of a tax office in 1980. I panicked. They asked if I was dating anyone. I said yes. They asked who. I said your name. You could have picked literally anyone. They know you," she said defensively. "They've seen your pictures from the office party, and you looked like the most believable option." "Believable option," I repeated. "Wow, romantic." She groaned, dragging a hand through her hair. "I didn't mean it like that." "Then what did you mean?" She hesitated, and that hesitation said more than anything she could have spoken. Finally she whispered, "I trust you, and I knew you'd help me." I blinked. That was unexpected. And she added quickly, cheeks burning, "You're, not terrible to look at." That's the most Mia compliment I've ever heard. She glared. "Just please help me, just for tonight. After dinner, I'll tell them we broke up peacefully and nobody did anything wrong." I sighed so hard my soul left my body. But somehow, even through the frustration, I couldn't ignore the genuine fear in her eyes. She looked like a student about to fail an exam she studied her whole life for. "One night?" I asked. She nodded furiously. "One night." I took a deep breath. "Fine." Her relief was immediate, overwhelming, almost emotional. "Thank you," she whispered, grabbing my hand without thinking. "Seriously, thank you." Her parents were sitting at the dining table, both stiff, both observant, both clearly excited. Her mother gasped when she saw me. "Oh, so you're the boyfriend we've been hearing about." I smiled awkwardly. "Apparently, yes." Mia pinched my side when her parents weren't looking. "Be normal," she hissed. "I am normal," I whispered back. "No, you're sarcastic. There's a difference." Dinner began with harmless questions. Work, family, food preferences. But as time passed, her parents leaned in more, smiling knowingly, asking deeper questions. Questions about how we met, who made the first move, what we liked about each other. And somehow, somewhere in the middle of all the lying, something shifted. Because when her mom asked, "What's the sweetest thing he's ever done for you?" Mia looked at me for a long second before answering. Then she said softly, "He stayed." I didn't expect that answer. Not from her. Not with that tone. Not with those eyes that suddenly seemed softer, warmer, almost real. Her dad nodded proudly. "A man who stays, good, very good." I swallowed. The dinner lasted an hour, maybe more. Her parents talked like they already adored me. They kept placing more food on my plate, asking about my future, hinting, too many times, that Mia needed a stable, kind man. When they finally left, Mia shut the door and collapsed against it, covering her face with both hands. "Oh my God," she whispered, "that was torture." "It wasn't that bad," I said. She peeked through her fingers. "You're joking. My mom practically asked when we're getting engaged." "She asked me which ring size you are," I said. Mia groaned louder. "I am never inviting you again." "You invited yourself," I said. She glared. "Don't remind me." I chuckled, unbuttoning the top of my shirt to breathe. "Honestly, your parents are nice." "Too nice," she muttered, "suspiciously nice." She walked to the kitchen, pulling 2 glasses from the shelf. "I can't believe you agreed," she mumbled. "I thought you'd walk out." I almost did. "Why didn't you?" she asked, looking at me over her shoulder. I opened my mouth. Stopped. I didn't know. Maybe it was her panic. Maybe her trust. Maybe the way she looked genuinely scared of disappointing her parents. Maybe I cared about her more than I realized. "I guess," I said, "I didn't want you to deal with it alone." She froze. Then she turned slowly, eyes wide, expression unreadable. "You really mean that?" she asked quietly. "Yeah." She stared at me like she was seeing a completely different version of me, one she didn't expect, one she wasn't prepared for. Then she walked toward me, slowly, each step softer than the last, until she stood directly in front of me. "Thank you," she whispered. "Really?" I nodded. "Anytime." She looked down at her hands, twisting them together nervously. "You were really good tonight, like weirdly good. My mom is convinced you're the ideal man." "That means she doesn't know me well." She snorted. "Maybe not, but I do." "Oh yeah, what do you know?" "That you're annoying," she said immediately. "Great." "And sarcastic." "Fantastic." "And stubborn." "Wonderful." "And…" She hesitated. "And what?" "And you didn't have to say yes tonight, but you did for me." Her voice cracked slightly on the last 2 words. I exhaled slowly. "I'd do it again." She looked up sharply. "Why?" There it was. The real question. The one she didn't expect me to answer honestly. I swallowed. "Because you matter to me more than you think." She blinked rapidly. "Don't say things like that." "Why not?" "Because," she whispered, "I might believe you." Silence stretched between us. A slow, soft, dangerous silence. We should probably, she gestured vaguely, sit or something. Or something, I echoed. We sat on the couch, but far too close for two people who were supposedly fake dadding, close enough to hear her breathing, close enough to feel the warmth of her skin. You know, she said quietly, my parents really liked you. I liked them too. She snorted, don't say that, they'll adopt you. Cool, I'll become your stepbrother. Shut up, she laughed, lightly hitting my arm. When her laughter faded, she looked at me again, really looked. Can I tell you something? She asked. Yeah. I never told them about anyone before, ever. Why? Because no one ever felt right, and I didn't want to lie, not to them, not to myself. And tonight, I asked softly. She swallowed. Tonight felt less like a lie. Something warm settled in my chest. Dangerous, unexpected, real. Mia, I said quietly. She leaned into me, shoulder brushing mine. Don't say anything, she whispered. Just stay a little longer. So I stayed. 30 minutes passed, maybe more. We didn't talk much. Didn't need to. The silence was comfortable in a way silence shouldn't be with a coworker who forced me into fake dadding her. Then out of nowhere, she said, you know, we were pretty convincing. We're both good liars. She shook her head. No, it wasn't lying, that part. I looked at her. Which part? She didn't answer with words. She leaned in, close enough for her breath to touch my neck, and whispered. The part where it felt real. My heart hammered. Mia, I said again, softer this time. She lifted her head, eyes meeting mine, vulnerable in a way I'd never seen. What if, she whispered, we didn't have to pretend next time? The room went silent. Completely. Utterly. Beautifully. Silent. And for once in my life, I didn't have anything sarcastic to say. I just looked at her. And she looked at me. And everything between us changed, slowly, undeniably, permanently. Then maybe, I said finally, we shouldn't. Her breath caught. She leaned closer. And this time I didn't stop her.